Check 1 2, check 1 2. Everything working? Oh my God! Always a worry whether anything's going to work or not. Anyway, here we are, Saturday morning again. Headphones on, caps on, cameras working. G'day Blues Inc., Warren Thurrott and Luke M. How you all doing today? Loving people joined so far? Good. Okay. I think we're up and running. So how is everybody? Yeah, I think we needed this. Like a lot of people are suffering from winter. We needed a sunny picture today. And Paul in Sydney, how you doing? Warren, Los Angeles. How's Los Angeles doing over there? Anyway, so bit of sort of a non-eventful week, really, when you start to think about the whole Thailand scene. But we'll wait for a few more people to get in before we start anything. Just checking my Facebook, checking my social media, anything else new coming out. Harley Davidson. We're back in Thailand International Motor Show. Yeah. Well, they were at the motor show, yes. What else we got? What? Breakdancing will make Olympic debut in 2024? Really? 67 Bryony, g'day, how you doing? What, breakdancing in the Olympics? Well, that's a first, isn't it? Strange how life changes over the years, isn't it? Looking for a place to pitch your tent for Christmas. Well, you wouldn't want to do Chiang Rai. I believe it's getting quite cold up there. WRPP, g'day, how you doing? All good here. I got a few little articles I was going to sort of run with today, just to have a bit of a conversation. But as I said, it's been quite things have been quite slow here. Robert Groves, how's the house coming? Helicopters buzzing around the last 2 hours. Must have been another Friday zombie parade down the Mains Boulevard. Really? I guess that's what you get for living. And what I need to do is I need to bring this thing here, bring it out and reduce it down and bring it across. House all finished, yes. I don't know who here hasn't seen the photos from Rob's house. Do you want me to show the photos from Rob's house? I got it on my Facebook here. Steve Perrin, originally poetry reading was an Olympic sport, so nearly it's gone full circle. Right, okay. Olympic sport, poetry, really? Can't believe that. It's William Poole. Oh, William Poole. Okay, I had to change name after being blocked by YouTube for commenting on for commending politicians. Okay, so you're William Poole. I got to sort of got to remember that one because I know it's a new name, and of course I think I mentioned I found a whole bunch of your posts pop up in my thread. From months and months back. They were there for about 4 or 5 days. I answered a few of them, and then they all disappeared again. Sometimes you can never work out what's going on with YouTube. But anyway. Mr. Mitch, good morning. IJ Sherwin, press that like button. Yes, press the like button, folks. I don't think we're going to see Oggy this morning. I haven't heard from Oggy for at least 4 days now. According to his Discord, he's currently idle, probably asleep. Idle means asleep. He's left his computer running. He's fallen asleep at the keyboard. But never know, he may turn up. But if you want to join in and come and say hello, there is the link for the Discord down below. You're quite welcome to sort of, just make sure you get your headphones on. If you're using the mobile app, make sure you put your earbuds in, otherwise we get this feedback loop going on, and that all I hear is myself talking, at about a second delay, which confuses the hell out of my brain. Robert has great news. Thanks, Luke. Yeah, Mr. Mitch is all finished. Yeah, so Robert, you want me to show the photos? I got the photos here. I can definitely sort of put the photos up. Mr. Robert Groves. As far as Rob Hoy and Robert Groves, Mr. Groves. Yeah, go ahead, he says. Okay, so what have we got? So, here we go. Bring that into the forefront of the pictures here. And get me out of the picture. There we go. It's looking quite swish. This is the Mayor Groves establishment. Let's see if I can get a bit better. There we go. Benja Tassid, g'day, how you doing? Yeah, so it looks really quite a nice looking place, doesn't it? I see you got the pillars all done. I know when I was down there last, they did something wrong and they were pulling it apart, but the pillars look all good now. Looks good with the grass and the tarmac on the front. Bit closer view there. It definitely looks like a place where the mayor would actually live, wouldn't it? Mayor Groves. I just Benja the KFC lady. It is. It's a really nice house. We will get down there. I'm just trying to work out how to get down there, and I should have gone down this weekend. Like Chanya only told me on Tuesday night that she was going out to do another thing with her hairdressing crowd down in Hua Hin, of all places. I should have jumped in the car and jumped in the bike and come down to Cha Am. But she had a good time. It's the main thing. How long do they leave the poles on these trees, Robert? Do they leave them there forever, or until it's a year, or 2 years, 5 years? How long does it take before the trees actually establish themselves? Looking up the backyard there. And the pool. Looking forward to some pool parties up there. Is that a house or a hotel? Exactly. Yeah, about 6 months. Okay, 6 months for the poles to for the plants to establish themselves. Okay. From the backyard, I reckon that balcony should have been on the front. Like just because it is the mayor's establishment, so they can so we can get up there and sort of talk to the minions. But it looks just as good from the back anyway. It definitely has some definite features that make the thing look like a. Oh yeah, and the inside. I get some inside photos too. So that's the main bedroom. Poor cow, it's lying there on the ground. How much did that cowhide cost you, by the way? It doesn't look like it looks like it cost a pretty penny. And the kitchen. The gold leaf staircase. $450, Jesus. Huh? Wow. Yeah, so it's definitely looking like the place is the mayoral establishment. Benja, you are everywhere. I see. Okay, so you mean Mr. Mitch? Okay. Yeah. So Anyway, I got a. Hey, where's this article I was trying to find? Yeah, I was going to talk about this situation up here well, bring it across. There we go. So I don't know if anybody's been following the news. Okay, let's rewind. Let's see if we can do it. What's the new rules coming into force regarding motorbike engine size? You can ride. Well, anything over 400 cc's requires a new license. That's all we know. I think it comes in. I don't know. They've got a 3-month sort of process. Probably January sometime, January, February, where it's enforced. Not quite sure what this entailed. When the police pull me over and look at my license, find I got the wrong one, so I got to go to a new one. I will make my way over there to do it. But supposedly, from what I've heard, the queues for getting these licenses are horrendous and things like that. But I haven't heard much more about it. It's but one of those sort of things. It's I believe I don't have to really worry about it until I get to the renewal. I think the renewal's up in 3.5 years, so I'll tell you how it goes by then. But as I said, I get zero entanglements with the law. I've yet, I have 4 years in Thailand. I've yet to be asked to show any ID at any check stops or anything else like that. I've been pulled over a few times on the motorcycle at checkpoints, and I got the camera on the helmet, and basically they pull me over, see the camera, and they wave you through. So what do? It's really just one of those things. It's a bit hit and miss. I think although I am technically allowed to ride with a camera running on the motorcycle, which I do when I'm going anywhere at all, anywhere that's a reasonable distance. I always put the camera on. And of course, it seems like the police are camera shy, so they try to avoid all entanglements and wave you through. When the new rule comes in, I'm sure that it's going to be some sort of a process of topping up the police Christmas fund, and they're going to see the camera and they're just going to wave you through. So this is Thailand. You got to deal with it. Andy Stubbs, g'day, how you doing? Anyway, just let's backtrack. So let me just bring up the Google Maps. Google Maps. That's what I was going to do, wasn't it? I was actually doing a little bit of checking out this thing here the other day. Right, so I don't even know how to say this in Tachilek. Is that how you say it? Top Gun Assassin. If you did not have the camera, you would have been pulled. Yeah, I said the last ride we did, which was out to a waterfall, when we did a group ride to the waterfall. Me and Bob were riding. We're the two on the Vulcan, so we're cruising. The others on the fast bikes, they went ahead. They got pulled up at the same checkpoint. One of them had to pay a fine for not having his license, and another one had to pay another fine for something or other else. We got there and they just waved us through because both me and Bob had cameras on. Didn't want to. They basically, that's how it works in Thailand. You just got to get used to it. So that's the only recommendation I have for anybody coming out here, and if they're going to ride motorcycles, even if you're on a scooter, right? If you're going anywhere from point A to point B, get yourself a helmet cam. I believe GoPro do have. Let me see if I can find this for you. We'll get back to this other article. GoPro. Camera. I accessories. What I'm looking for. No, I don't want to freaking get your notifications. Apps, lighting gear, cases, clothing, backpacks and bags, cases, goods, accessories, mounts. Load more. Now I don't know whether it's actually a GoPro accessory or it was an aftermarket. I've still got to find out. But what it was actually a proper helmet chin fixture. Okay, so it doesn't look like it's here. I don't see it in the GoPro things. I have to find out from Paul where he got his one from. But it actually it fixes. Oh, Luke M, thanks very much for that. Yeah, it's got like my one. I've had my helmet cam is made up. I used Araldite and one of the the clip fittings for the GoPro, the GoPro clone accessories, mounted it up, and I had to sort of do it because of the way that the brackets work. I had to sort of make it sort of come to the front, and put it at an angle and everything else, which was a bit of a complicated procedure. But I got it sort of basically on the front of the chin for mounting the what do you call it? Which is the can't even show you the camera right now. It's on my desk here somewhere. You don't never want to look at my desk. Oh, here it is. Yeah. So this is the SJ cam. It has a mount kit that there's the mount kit for it. Yeah. So I put it in the waterproof casing, and it just clips into the side. Well, there's the bracket. Well, no, that's not the right one actually. Where's the right one? It's on my desk here somewhere. Anyway, I don't want to bore you with that shit. But yeah, it just clips into the helmet, and I can take it off fairly easily. His one actually had a sort of a proper sort of adhesive strip, which is like a good 6 inches long, which actually goes across the chin, which gives you a perfect chin positioning for the actual camera. Of course, it'll work with my camera as well, so I got to find out where it is. Okay, so it looks like GoPro don't actually have all accessories. Yeah. Anyway, so much for GoPro. It must be an aftermarket product. Anyway, so getting back to this thing here. Did you hear about that Thai king in Germany? I don't follow his whereabouts. I believe there's some issues with the German government at the moment because he's conducting political management from Germany, and under German law, under the visa that he's on, prohibits him from conducting state business in Germany. That's as much as I know, and I don't want to talk about much more about than that. It's just the way it is. Supposedly, he sort of said that he's there on holiday, but with all the political unrest here in Thailand, supposedly they've been somehow monitoring, somehow backwards and forwards. But I thought from what I know, the king's actually in Thailand, because like 3 weeks ago, we saw him drive past we did the video when we were doing the graduation thing. So he's not currently in Germany. Richie Kingster, afternoon Wazza, and everybody. Yeah, we're doing good. We're Richie. I hear Vietnam might be closed for 2 years. The governments are saying. Possibly. I haven't been following much of the Vietnam stuff. Eddie Manning, good morning. How you doing? Just tuned in. Good to see you live. Hope you're all subscribers, and hi to all the subscribers and friends. I think subscribers are friends. I did see one thumbs down on the stream this morning. I thought, oh, good. Yeah, we got a dissenting vote there somewhere. With 30 people watching and 11 likes, come on, better than that. Come on, hit that like button. I hear somebody in the background, darling. You gonna come say hello? You're gonna come say hello? You gonna come say hello, darling? You come here to say hello? Come here.
I have time a little bit.
She hasn't got makeup on yet.
Hello.
Down further, they can't see your face.
No, not make up. I'm sorry.
Look at this, Pompoi. Pompoi Thai. Pompoi Thai. Hello, darling. Kiss
Hello.
me. You ready to go to work?
Yep.
Good.
I had to work hard, not
Yeah.
play game,
Yeah,
talking
me play
with
game.
friends.
Yeah, she tells me what
I work
Benji,
hard.
Benji, what do you say here?
Hard,
What Benji say here? What's this one?
สวัสดีค่ะ
You say Swadika.
Yeah.
Swadika.
สวัสดีค่ะทุกคนสวัสดีค่ะ
Anyway, darling, thought to keep you.
Yeah have to
What's
enjoy
this?
to video
What's
with
this?
friend alright
Mom, yeah.
Hey what's
my
it
God.
not make like that I'm Thai I'm not ฝรั่ง not make
You're
like
Thai,
that
you're not Farang.
ไปก่อนนะคะพอแต่งหน้าทำงานกัน
What did he say? In Thai, what's he say?
Yeah she Thai people เหรอพี่ดูน้องทุกวันเลยน้องสวยมากโอ้ thank you มากค่ะคุณพี่ คุณพี่เบนจาเหรอฮะ
So,
Thank you very much.
ขอบคุณมากนะคะ
we'll be with you in a second, whoever's on the Discord. Okay, darling.
yeah
You go, have a good day, darling.
yeah
Get ready. Okay. Okay, so who's joined us there? Is that Slade? How you doing, Slade?
That's all right. How are you, man?
Good. Good to have you join
Yeah.
us. I don't know where
You're up
Oggy
in
is. Say
You're
again?
up early. You're up early. Oh, sorry. You're
20
up early. You're up.
20 minutes past 10. What are you talking up early? It's got nothing to do with up early. Anyway.
Or are you still up? Or are you just still up?
No, it's up,
Still
we're up
up.
early. No, it's 10 o'clock in the morning. Come on, 10:30 in the morning. Anyway, so
Teasing. Come on.
Yeah,
I
yes,
stay up fucking late sometimes. Come on.
yeah, could we just not four-letter words too much because they tend to
Oh, sorry.
yeah, they tend to frown on one of that in YouTube. Anyway,
Pardon. Sorry.
It's all right. It's all right. Anyway, so what I was going to do is getting onto the discussion topic this morning, which is the whole viral situation up in northern Thailand. I thought I'd give you a bit of a zoom in on where this actual location is. It really is the top northern tip. It's one of the border towns between Thailand and Myanmar, up near the what they call the Golden Triangle there. If you don't know the Golden Triangle, that's the one there. That's the Golden Triangle Park, with all their things. So it's the nearest. It is pretty much the nearest border crossing. Supposedly, I don't know actually where the hotel, because like when you do a street view, there is no street view on the other side of the border, so we can't go and check out where that hotel is. But this is what they call. I think they call this the Friendship Bridge. If I can figure, is that where
I've been. Who's dropping the F-bomb now? Okay. Yeah, the Friendship Bridge. It's over there. That's right there. Yeah, that's Lao. That's the Lao border.
This is the Lao border. So this is the official crossing position here in Lao. But you know, you've only got to, you know, well, what I was doing, I was even just going through here. I was looking at. Okay, so let's just escape out of there.
Yeah,
Right.
be careful. Udantani and yeah, the Lao border. I used to live right there. Udantani and yeah, the Friendship Bridge.
Yeah, so there's you know, like it's not too hard, you know, even to swim across the water. Yeah, Ralph was a distraction.
if you really wanted to, I wouldn't. But
Well, it's a fairly free running river there. But
eaten by
yes,
a crocodile. Get eaten by a crocodile.
but it's not that wide. That's the thing.
It's not. No, it's not that. You could probably wade it. No, you could probably wade it actually. So you just walk across it.
So obviously there's fences
Not
along
a-
there. But this
Yeah,
don't forget,
not
this
a good idea.
this is the township, of course. But you've only just, you know, like supposedly they got you know, there's 1,000 places anybody could walk, you know, to make their way across.
Yeah, you could definitely make your way across. I'm sure.
And sort of, you know, what the situation is, of course, up in here, there's a I'll use the inverted commas hotel where the generals in Myanmar frequent, and of course they've got a major outbreak there in Myanmar at the moment, and the generals
Really?
are all well. This is where it's come through. It's come through this area. And
It's news to me.
supposedly these girls decided they needed to come back home because they could no longer ply their trade, and their trade basically was regarding the hours of 12 a.m. to 4 a.m. in the morning, which is now subject to curfew. So they couldn't ply their trade. So they said, "Well, can't make money here, so I'm going home." Right? They don't have a visa to be there to start with, right? So they've snuck across at some time. They just sneak back across. They might not do it here, but they go across anywhere across here.
Go over there, over there, yeah.
And there's plenty of places that they can cross. Let's see. I'm going to see if we can get a street view there.
Seriously, yeah. You could you could just walk across that. And just pick your panties up and walk across. What the hell?
I was trying to just something to do with the maps just misbehaving.
It's like a creek. It's like,
I don't want satellite view. Why do I want satellite view? I was trying to sort of get a position on there. And it's just so there's the river there. It's not going to get much more, but it's not that deep. Any proficient swimmer could swim
no,
across.
that's what I'm saying. Well,
Okay,
you just wade across. That's what I'm saying. You just wade across it.
Yeah.
Just walk across it. If you're like, well. Unfortunately, they tend to be like short.
Yes, they're ties. They're short. Anyway, so they're snuck across the border. So that's the basic location where they are, is up here. Now the aftermath, of course. Okay, let me just catch up in the chat. Got your retirement plan sorted out, Dalo? Yes, within living the dream. In Bangkok for the weekend, then home Monday, beach again. You're in Bangkok. You want to catch up with him, William? You're in Bangkok. What, this weekend coming? You want to catch up for a beer or something? Let me know. Hit me up on Facebook. If you're in Bangkok, I'd come out and say hello. Since you're a good follower of the channel, it'd be good to catch up with you. Excuse me. Okay. You will wonder how you had time to work, Dalo. Yes, I know. Believe me, retirement's one of those weirdest things. Sometimes you sit there and wonder, how the hell did I ever get everything done in a week? Because I still don't have anything to get, and I get an extra 10 hours a day for 5 days a week. Still don't get everything done. Mind you, I do enjoy the seniors nap at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. That is something that us oldies really do appreciate, is that seniors nap. It really is one of the best things ever. But yeah, shut up, Said. You're not a.
What do you mean? I snickered. I snickered. That's all I did. I snickered.
You're not old enough. You are not entitled for a seniors nap. You're not over 50. So that's it. Rules are seniors naps.
I snickered. Shut up. I snickered.
Seniors naps are only entitled to people over the age of 50. So you've got a few years to wait, right? You can't have them, okay? Paul A. Yes, the COVID, this whole COVID situation. We'll get to the whole article thing. I've got a list of articles we can go through.
I'll snicker more.
I'll mute you in a minute. Shut up. Anyway, so Chiang Rai governor, it's fairly close to Chiang Rai. This is the first major township from that border crossing that they head to. Chiang Rai governor leads clean-up operation amid COVID fears. So yeah, they're out there in the post outbreaks of situation. Chiang Rai governor has led a clean-up operation across the public areas and tourist attractions such as shopping malls, Chiang Rai Airport, Singer Park, and the border checkpoint at Mae Sai. It follows the recent discovery of a number of infected Thai nationals who illegally crossed from Myanmar, bypassing health checks and quarantines. At least 34 illegal returnees have tested positive for the virus. According to the Nation Thailand report, Pajon says he focused on restoring confidence in visitors to Chiang Rai, including those coming for the flower festivals and the New Year festivities. He describes the clean-up effort aimed at preventing the spread of the virus in the Northern Province as the best New Year's gift for residents. It also aims to create awareness on how people can protect themselves against the COVID-19, such as wearing face masks, washing hands, and cleaning their houses regularly. So yeah, they're in a bit of a sort of a wind down situation, clean up everything. I suppose the whole town probably needed a good wash and clean anyway. It's not too hot up there, so I suppose get the people out there, get them to do all the sprucing up for Christmas. Could be a good sign, a good boon for them. Never know. But yeah, so moving right along, the next article was to do with again every COVID patient in Thailand accounted for. So this was posted. I think was it 11th today or the 12th? What's the date today? Okay, so this is posted yesterday. Every COVID patient in Thailand accounted for, confirms Disease Control Department chief. As they're saying, there are no unaccounted for COVID-19 cases in the 7 provinces where the newly infected persons travelled. Dr. Opas Kimura, I can never say these names, General Director of the Disease Control Department, said on Friday, so far 49 cases have been found to be related to the people who crossed the border illegally. Of them, 30 have tested positive and they're in local quarantines, while 17 who travelled to 7 provinces before testing have infected 2 others so far. So 17 infected too. So again, like the numbers that they're stating are, like the R0, right? Don't forget the R0 of this particular strain of the virus. And this one here is supposed to be the newer, more akin to the Western strain that is ravaging through everywhere else in the world, not the original strain. It has an R0 of 2.7 to 3.0, which means for every person infected, it will infect 2.7 to 3 other people in the incubation period. This seems to suggest that those numbers can be quite well thwarted just by the way we are here in Thailand, which is we don't shake hands, we do generally wear masks, and we can have that argument all day, right? And we also practice social distancing quite well. The Thais do respect that space in front of them. We're not, they're not clingy, huggy, crowdy, sort of, in-your-face sort of people like they are in certain parts of the country, certain parts of other countries. We do seem to have this respect for your personal zone, and this is why Thailand has been fairly well, missed the whole rest of the world situation. And this only just goes to emphasise the fact that, the R0 of 3.0 can be severely reduced just by social distancing, not shaking hands, minimise social contact, personal contact, and wearing face masks. So that's a take home from this recent outbreak, because pretty much, after the tour, I think this started 3 weeks ago, but they've pretty much got on top of it. How you could control it in other countries, it's just beyond other countries that I'm sorry you just got to deal with it, but this is how you should have dealt with it from the beginning. So that imbecile with the golden hair in America, thankfully he's out of politics now, or pretty much so. I think the latest thing I read was yesterday he was doing one large ditch attempt for the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court have thrown that one out like the other 51 cases. God, I wish that thing would just go to bed and just die a peaceful death, Mr. Trump. Really, the world is freaking sick and tired of you. Oh, really? Anyway, any Trump supporters out there, sorry, like you're my friends, but seriously, the guy's an imbecile. How he got to be a president that's more an affrontment to the political system in America. How somebody of his stature could even be elected to government or elected as a president just goes to show you how corrupt the whole system is. Health officials in seven provinces, namely Chiang Rai, Chiang Mai, blah 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 blah, and tracked and tested more than 6,000 persons suspected of having close contact with the infected. Other than the 2 who contacted from Telic arrivals, there have been no unaccounted for cases or infections resulting from an unknown origin. This means that 7 provinces are safe. No areas have been classified as risky. Some people can travel locally without having to quarantine themselves when returning to their home province. However, people still need to protect themselves by wearing face masks, washing their hands regularly, avoiding crowded areas, and using the Thai Chanya platform to record their movements. That's the app where they got the little barcode, just click in, check out, everywhere you go. So it seems to be up, and unfortunately the damage is already done. People have cancelled holidays left, right and centre. It's been a ridiculous situation. Moving right along in the articles, well, let's make sure I'm not missing anything on the chat, because everybody's chatting amongst themselves. William, thanks mate, looking forward to that. Awesome dialogue. Why are the QSA hotels so dear for 15 days? Well, don't forget, so you've got specific staff that man these hotels. They have to, that state quarantine includes all meals, right? So I think they start at 45,000 baht. Right now, typically, 14 days in a regular hotel, 65? What is it? Something like the Nara, I think, charges $65 a day. Australian dollars up, 22.7. Okay, that's pretty good. Converter, so so $65. That was when I was getting hotels. That was 1,500 baht per day. So if I get a calculator, 1500 times 14, that's 21,000. But that didn't include. I think that usually included breakfast. But now they provide lunch and dinner. So effectively, that's where the other costs are, and of course you've got specialised staff. Now these staff basically can't go home themselves, they have to live at the hotel, so you're not only paying for your hotel room, you're splitting the cost of other hotel rooms, where the staff have to basically be quarantined, because the staff really can't get out into the public as well. They've got to attend to those hotels, so you got to understand where these costs come. I think it's probably fair and equitable that you're getting personalised treatment. You're going to stay in your hotel room. It probably includes all your entertainment, and everything else, all your washing services, right? Restocking your mini bar every day, all that sort of stuff. So I think 45,000 baht is, well, I know they go up from there depending on how much, how prestigious you want to go in your hotel. But it just covers for everything, It's just, breakfast, lunch and dinner, 3 meals a day, plus, snacks and all that sort of stuff, and the staff to monitor. So I think it's quite reasonable. Question about the STV 3-month visa. After the 15 days hotel is finished, you have accommodation booked for 3 months. They have to, I think, this I don't know enough all about the total details. You have to be using, well, the TM30 is very critical in your check-in process. So your state quarantine, that's to get in the country. I think that they need to sort of see they need to see an ongoing hotel booking. But they don't need to see 3 months worth. They just need to see you booked in for a hotel, because the whole idea is they want you moving around and, you know, being a tourist, right? So you won't have to you know, have your whole 3-month itinerary sort of presented. You only need to have your state quarantine and probably, you know, some sort of indication you've got, you know, accommodation after that point in time. But that's all I've heard in that sort of area. In the case of Vance, he was booked into state quarantine, right, and he lives in Thailand. He just had to sort of give me his forwarding address. That's all. You know, he says, "This is my house. That's where I'm going to." He doesn't have to present himself anywhere. He doesn't have to go and sort of regularly go and check anywhere else apart from his 90-day check-in process. So it's just the state quarantine or the 15-day, whatever it is. That's all that they're really sort of enforcing at the moment. Robert Groves is confirming that, yes, out-of-state quarantine. Some countries are reducing the quarantine to 10 days now. Yeah, I don't think Thailand will be reducing it to 10 days. There's a lot of people trying to push for it. But as I said, this is an example that we've got here, you know, this outbreak in northern Thailand. I think it's reinforced the 14-day mandatory. You know, the Thais are fairly concerned about this thing here. Because it does take a lot of resource to track all these people, and it's a cost that the government has to bear. And don't forget, every government around the world is currently broke because, you know, everybody's in a recession. Yes, Paul, a lot of people are trying to sneak in. Like, I'm pretty sure there's other people trying to sneak in as well. In the articles I've read, they've got increased drone presence, checking these borders, checking what they call the natural crossing points that they know of. Don't forget, look, they know that the crossing goes ahead. They've known for years. They know all the places people cross. They're not that dumb, you know. They just turn a blind eye to it, you know. Just that that particular Myanmar town just suddenly had a major outbreak because through the visiting generals who tend to come to there for entertainment, you know, and that's how it really starts, isn't it? It's all about personal contact. That's how the virus spreads. It's through close personal contact. Odd, that, isn't it? Yeah. Just talking about everything. Okay, thanks, Paul. Looks like they are washing. They were washing the street. Andy Stubbs, I would sneak in and hide out and at Robert's place. Okay, fair enough. Paul, the traders are free to cross the borders and visas are not required to cross the borders. You can use your ID card. Yeah, there is. I think they're clamping down on that at the moment, from what I've been reading, Robert. You know, the trading still has to go ahead, but I think that's got to be it's a two-party trade now. The people are not allowed to directly come in contact with people on the other side. So they've got these sort of, you know, like handover points. So that's what they're trying to do, so that the people on one side stay on one side. And that's been sort of quite heavily sort of enforced now. Cases are one thing, deaths are another. It's all bullshit. Yeah, look, Andy, we know how you feel about it, and I know how I feel about it. You know, we can't deny that there is a viral epidemic going out. How the countries deal with it, that's a different matter. I think that the virus is just one of those things. It's a virus. It's it's a little bit a bit more virulent and has a sort of a certain effect on the aged population and people who are of poor health. But yeah, so the numbers I've been tracking say that the flu cases are down. What do you say? But the point is, we can't deny the fact that what Thailand is doing, right? Masks, social distancing, washing your hands, and being aware that that person who's your close friend could very well be a carrier. So keep your distance. It's all it takes. Just a bit of concern for yourself and for other people, right? If the rest of the world will get off their frickin' high horse, right, about it's my personal freedoms that's being damaged here, and think about a collective effort on the people's side, I think would solve the problem, right? But again, like that requires a complete rethinking in America, because Americans are all narcissistic as far as I'm concerned. It's all about me, I've got my right to do everything, Well, just wake the frick up. More active cases in Victoria, yeah. Yeah, it's interesting, that one, Big W. G'day, how you doing, Big W? Yeah, so at the moment we've got some active cases, but it's all been checked and sort of, we haven't had the lockdown. Locking down would be really a problem, which is obviously what this, what are we doing to, this is another thing. I've noticed Chanya's been used in this app. It's called the Thai Government Stimulus Package, Facilities to Recover the SMEs, Small Medium Enterprises. Basically the shop fronts and market stalls and things like that. This SME thing, I'm not quite sure how it works, but supposedly every Thai can leverage up to 150 baht per day, which means the fact that if they go and buy something, up to a value of 300 baht basically. So they get 150 baht per day in their little application on their phone. They can go and the trader will give them a barcode, which is obviously, this is how the government pays them, right? They do something on the app, they press a button, bang, bing, bong, and the government pays for half of what you bought, which is pretty neat actually. Can't really go wrong with that one. I've seen Chanya use it quite regularly. In fact, just I think she used it when we went to the what do you call it, what was that, the barbecue thing that we did the other week. We also went to the markets. She was down in Hua Hin. She used it down there. Whenever we've been out, you see the little 50-50 sign, which means that they will allow you to use the app. But you can only use up to the 150, and they won't do part payments and things like that. So you never really get, unless of course you mathematically get it right perfectly, you'll never use the whole 150 baht, because you'll spend 60 baht here and 40 baht there. That's 100 baht. Then you'll spend 20 baht there, right? That's 120 baht. And then of course the next place you go to, you spend 80 baht. Well, there's not 40 baht left. You get the idea. So you can't use the app. It's one of those weird ones. Yeah. It's all right. But it did. What this is saying, it's been the stimulus, small and medium enterprises in Thailand are on the path to recovery due to the stimulus package launched by the government, according to the Federation of Thai SME. The Federation President, blah, 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 said, I think that's what I'm going to say now. I'm not going to try to pronounce these names. I'm not going to try to pronounce these names anymore. Recovered from the SMEs had already recovered from the crisis. She added that the stimulus package, Kon La Krung, let's go halves, Kon La Krung, let's go halves, have helped in the recovery of the grassroots business, increase the sales levels of SME. However, she said that the sales have not returned to their normal levels. At the moment, sales were still lower than the predetermined levels by around 30%. She also added that the sales of SMEs will gradually recover in the second, so long as a second wave doesn't occur. Blah, 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 said the SMEs and the tourist sector have still not recovered, especially the small ones. Basically, there's no tourists. and the next article will talk about the Thailand tourist situation going there. Next year, the president enterprises improve, they adapt themselves. Yeah, he says basically the problem with sort of the SMEs is the fact that they're not technically savvy, so not everybody can really leverage the program. They don't know how to use the electronic frontier to increase their business sort of prowess, which is part of the process. Zombie cult. 3 Jazz, how you doing, Mr. Mitch? Good news. Is there no more deaths from the flu? It's a miracle. Yes, exactly, IJ. It's the flu doesn't seem to be killing people. I wish they'd get a bit more serious. So we need to if they'd only report like cases directly attributed to the virus, which is how it inflames the lungs and causes pneumonia, which is the result of COVID-19, which is a pneumonia symptoms where you can't breathe, right? And then separate all that from all the cases where a death is present, right? Including car accidents, and they were COVID-19 positive, so it gets listed as a COVID death. Well, they are. That's what they're doing. They're listing car accidents. If COVID is present, it's being put down as a COVID death. That is just unconscionable. Thailand doesn't do it that way. Yes. If it's a motorcycle accident and you got COVID-19, well, guess what? Well, guess what? We don't have COVID-19 here, so it's not a real bit. But yeah, it's a motorcycle accident. It's a motorcycle accident. In particular of Trump's, don't you agree? Look, as I said, he's not my president, Big W. I just think he's an imbecile. I'm entitled to an opinion about Trump, and Trump is just an imbecile.
Don't say the T word. Yeah,
he's just an imbecile, right? The guy can't even have a sentence without contradicting himself. Seriously, the guy has got no brains whatsoever. I think he's got dementia.
I mean, I'm entitled to my opinion. I'm an American. I'm entitled to my opinion.
What's your opinion then?
I think he should be shot.
He should be shot. There you go. There's somebody agree with me.
No, he should be shot. He is an imbecile. I can totally.
And I still to this day say there's 320 million people in America, and the best person you could put up against Trump for the re-election was Biden. Honestly, what were they thinking?
I left USA because it was Hillary Trump.
Yeah, well, that was, God. What are these people thinking? Honestly, surely you've got better people in America than the Clintons and the Bidens. Surely there's better people.
Well, that's the thing. So I left. I sold everything, and I said, okay, I'm going to go on the other side of the world.
Yeah. Stuck in Florida. Good morning. Imagine a virus so deadly you need to be tested. It's not, I know. You're reading all the memes there, IJ. That's all right. I love the memes. The memes are great. Paul Apps. I am in ASQ in Bangkok. Where is the best place to buy a gaming piece? One of the first things on the list to buy. What, you want to buy one while you're in the hotel, Paul, or when you get out of ASQ? Because it seems like the only thing you're going to be able to buy in the hotel is probably a laptop. An MSI gaming laptop would probably do the job. 17-inch screen will do you fine. They run about 35,000. You can get them from IT City?
Newegg. Newegg's the better. Newegg.
Is it IT City? I don't know. I don't know. It's IT City. I thought it was IT City had a website.
Newegg is one of the best.
That's Shopee. I don't want Shopee. I want IT City. Maybe I'm getting the name wrong. Let us look at my receipts.
All right, I got another call from
So IT City, yeah, there we go. Do they have a website? Ah, there we go.
I go to New York.
So again, you put it in the Google, and Google seems to get all confused by it.
Google's all screwed up. You heard about the sharks chewing on the wires?
Sharks
Seriously?
chewing on what? I don't know.
Yeah, you haven't looked at that? But Google confirmed that there's actually sharks chewing on the underground cables or the underwater cables.
Gaming notebooks. I would always go MSI. MSI is probably, in my opinion, probably one of the best brands, and exactly what that says, I don't know. Not a really good site to use. No products were found. I know ITCD does have gaming laptops, MSI, but well, makes it a bit hard to get out.
Alienware.
Yeah, Alienware is not too bad. I just think they're a bit overpriced for their technology. They're going more on a name rather than anything else. But yeah, MSI, that's what I would recommend. I've got a 35,000 baht laptop for doing gaming. But yeah, so IT City, they do a pretty good job. There'll be one somewhere near you. They're pretty much all over the place. And if you get a built to order one, make sure you get SSD, 32 gig of RAM, and a decent sized monitor to play your games on. So, i9, 32 gig RAM, SSD, probably even two SSDs because these games get big. An SSD for your boot, right?
They're getting bigger by the day.
Yeah. SSD boot drive, so you can fast start up, and then of course a secondary M2 drive. Probably keep your OS separate from the gaming drive. So probably put a SATA SSD for your boot system. That's like the SATA interface, and then put an M2 interface card in there, 1 terabyte, one M2 interface. I don't have a 1 terabyte. I got a 512, which means I got to constantly take programs off and on my 512 these days. But yeah, so they're the three things. Oh, and a decent graphics card, at least a 20 series.
You don't want an onboard. You don't want an onboard.
No onboard graphics. A dedicated graphics card, something like a 2050, a GTX, or an RTX 2050 or better. I would say if you can afford it, get the RTX. Like I think the RTX 3080 is now available. So definitely sort of have a think about the it was RTX. I'm pretty sure it's available now. This is the top of the top end, RTX model, starting at $699. Well, convert that to US. It does put your price of your unit up by a good 30,000 baht. But if you're going to do gaming and you want to do it efficiently, look at the 3080. I should have probably waited to get my graphics update, but I updated my graphics at the beginning of this year. I went to the 2070. But I probably should have waited, till now. I'm probably a bit hasty. But again, this is something I have to deal with. But yeah, just proper SSD, 32 gig of RAM, good graphics, and a decent screen to watch it on. You'd be all right.
16.93. Yeah,
16.9 what?
Well, that's what I was saying.
Oh, you mean your 16, your screen?
Yeah, 16.9. Isn't that correct?
Oh, what they call 16:9 ratio. Yes.
Yeah.
But I got 3 screens. They're all 16:9. I think all screens you buy these days are 16:9. Unless of course you go for the extra wide screen that are coming out. I think we've got Acer are doing what they call a 24:9, which is an extra wide screen. Samsung have also got a 20:9 and a 32:9. So 32 by 9 is a single.
Those are pretty large screens.
Yeah, you need a lot of desk space for them, right? Desk space. Again, it's for me. What works better is multiple screens. So I've got the 3 screens. I've got the big screen here for the game, and I've got my other 2 screens that I work with, which works quite well. You have more chance of getting killed from the road. Tell me about it, Andy.
You have more chance of killed by a what? What did you say?
By road accidents.
Well, shark bite.
The funniest thing you see here in Thailand is motorcycle riders are riding with a mask on and no helmet. They've got a mask on and no helmet. Totally, this is Thailand. It is really. It is like you sit there and you just shake your head. That's all you can do. What can you say? You're a foreigner and I remember Robert A. Hylander's book, "Stranger in a Strange Land." Sometimes I feel like a damn Martian. I really do.
Well, you live there.
You ever read that? Ever read that book, "Stranger in a Strange Land"?
Yeah, I read it.
No?
Yeah.
It's actually a foundational book in the Church of All Worlds as well, which I'm an ordained minister, so there you go.
I'm an ordained minister as well.
Are you an ordained minister as well? There you go. But yes, so the Church of All Worlds, actually one of their primary books of recommended reading is Robert A. Hylander's "A Stranger in a Strange Land," which is Martian. What's his name? What did he call himself when he came out here? John or something?
John Kirk? No,
something. Can't remember the name. It's been years since I read it. And water is more precious than gold on Mars, and he just was always fascinated by the wastage of water here on planet Earth. Anyway, so it's a good book to read. And of course, like everybody in the Church of All Worlds, they become water brethren because it's part of their foundation and structure and everything else. Anyway, I don't go too much into that. A lot of communicable viruses are down because the measures are taken. Yeah, well, that's what's stuck in Florida. Yeah, that's exactly the thing. We're finding other communicable diseases here in Thailand.
Why is he not in voice? Is he just?
Oh, because that's all right. They get confused with Discord. Okay. It's not Facebook Messenger. It's a little more. It takes a little bit more patience to get it working.
I mean, he's obviously Twittering you or whatever he's messaging.
Yeah.
Somehow.
But yeah, so because other communicable diseases are down because people are more aware of it. I think that's a good thing coming out of the whole situation. People start to realise how easily viruses can be transmitted. Viruses aren't a new thing.
Vectors.
That's it.
Vectors. Excuse me, vectors.
And I just lost my place.
Vector.
Yeah, Paul, Alienware have gone downhill. They've gone more for the name rather than the actual tech. MSI still has a lot of respect amongst gamers as being probably one of the most reliable brands. Now, when I built my gaming PC, the internals are all MSI. I don't mismatch parts. I don't, again, it's MSI. If you've got an MSI motherboard, you buy an MSI graphics, RTX graphics card, you buy, all the associated parts, buy decent memory, Kingston, Corsair, don't buy cheap stuff. That makes a big difference in your gaming experience. But that's part of gaming technology if you're in the gaming scene. I hear lots of people having problems with gaming, because they buy the tech parts cheapest. So you've got, they might have an RTX 2070 in their machine, but it's made by some unknown manufacturer, some sort of Chinese knockoff. right? And they wonder why, when they put that in their Acer motherboard, why they have graphics problems. Well, the two aren't made for each other. It's like marrying. It's just trying to put, a Ford motor in a Holden, for instance. Do people do that? Put Ford motors in Holdens? I don't know. Some people used to. They also had problems with it too. But yeah, get the old. It's just one of those sort of things. Viruses might, but total overreaction to viruses and yeah, I know there is some anomalies in this thing here. I should actually bring up what's the article I've also got here. I'd like to play this article for you as well. This is what the year has produced for us, from pandemics to sheeple, making sense of the COVID-19 conspiracy speak. I should actually put that link down there. You guys probably should. I'm not going to go through it. You should all have a read of this one. It's actually a fairly well written article. It really sort of sheds a bit more of a level-headedness to the whole 2020 sort of genre. Quite frankly, we're in Thailand. We've done the right thing, and we're loving it. But yeah, anyway, what was this government stimulus? What was it? There we go. I was reading this article here, so I'm trying to catch up on the thread as well. We'll get onto this one next. When you get out, yeah. Sorry, Andy, so we're going to have to disagree on the long-term effects of the virus. Not exactly. We don't know. So then we're about to sort of inject ourselves with, or be injected with a sort of a vaccine, which is being rushed through. What's going to happen 5 years from now if one leg gets shorter than the other? Well, we're going to recall the vaccine now, but everybody's injected with it. So we're all going to be limping in 5 years. Is that how it works? I don't know. It's one of those sort of things. But it's going to come down to, they're going to, like I remember when I first flew in '75, you had to have vaccinations. You had to have yellow fever. You had to have, I can't remember what they were, yellow fever, smallpox, was it typhoid? There was 5 injections or something. 75. You actually, if you were going through Southeast Asia, even if you're only stopping in the airport, you had to have these things, and you had to have a vaccination book. That was 75, so it's nothing new. We've always had it. It's just with the advent of cheap international flights. It just meant the fact that it was no longer viable. Money drove the business. It's going to come back. But again, how easy is it going to be to get a forgery of that book? It's just going to be a book. How's it going to be tracked? Through some centralized database. No two governments are going to share a database about anything, right? So exactly how they're going to track this shit, I don't know. But eventually, more than likely, it's going to be a centralized database. Right? Have you had the injection? Right? Here's your certificate to fly. Right? This is where it's going to go, and that's what you're going to look forward to. Unfortunately, there's nothing you can do to stop it, unless, of course, we sack every government in the world and start again. There we go. Time for revolution, guys. Time for revolution. It's time for a revolution. It's time for a V for Vendetta. I'm more concerned about the that's the vaccines. Exactly, I'm worried about it too. I like the cure vaccine. Blah 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 blah. It's good for trying to get off the vaccines. Warren Thierat, but that's for people who are having to do a world to trying to keep up with the thread. Don't fight amongst yourselves. If you like, everybody's entitled to their opinion. Okay, let's just not have any fighting going on here. You can agree or disagree, but no need to get narcissistic and my opinion's right or wrong. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. Unfortunately, we've got to work with a global pandemic, and find the best way out of it. You've chat on both sides of the screen. Can't see, Wazza. I don't know what that means. You will walk. 67 Briney, you will walk in circles. Wazza is on the bottom right, hiding. Yeah, I'm down here, so I'm big. Now I'm small. There you go. It's only if you're on the Discord do you not see me. That's all. And I don't need to see Slade either. You know, I've seen the guy. He's not the prettiest thing to look at. You know, you could dye his beard grey and he'd look like Gandalf with a pointy hat.
Oh, fuck you.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Hey.
Bite me, bitch. Jesus Christ.
I've seen him. Believe me, you don't want to see him.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah, I'm that ugly. Okay. I'm that ugly. Okay. Just take his word for it. I've got another call.
Johnny Siam. G'day, Johnny Siam. We are the children of the revolution. Look, I can't sing the song.
It will not be televised. The revolution will not be televised.
Protect the vulnerable. Sorry to hear about the friends. Yes. We have lost friends. I've had some friends twice removed fall victim to the virus, and it's not like people being cut short in their prime. That's a bit of it's always a worry. That's what I like about Warren. He lets everyone have their opinion. Yeah, like I said, everybody's entitled to an opinion, right? There is a right and a wrong. I think this is what's wrong with social media. We've forgotten how to have what we call debate.
Proper conversation.
Proper debate. There is a right way and a wrong way to debate a subject, right? And I know I used to be in debating classes back in Fort Street. Interesting how Fort Street had debating as something you do, but a typical public school, right? When I went to Asquith, they didn't have it, and when I went to Linwood High, they didn't have debating as something you did. But Fort Street had debating. It was something. It was part of. I don't know. Was it part of English? I think it was part of English. It was part of your English curriculum.
Well, social studies and English.
Yeah, I think it was part of our English curriculum back when I was in Fort Street, or going to Fort Street.
Hold on, I have another call. I have to go.
Okay, go and take your other call. But yes, we had debating. That was part of your English curriculum. Did people know how to run a debate? You can have a sensible argument, on two sides. Debating is the art form in English where it doesn't matter what your opinion, like you would have a for and against, criteria of a debatable subject, and you had two teams. And whether you were liked it or not, obviously it helped if you picked a subject you actually had a passion for. It really added emphasis to your debate. But if you started using, emotional attitudes to your debating clauses, it usually actually marked you down on the debating subject. Basically a debate is non-emotional. You have to take emotion out of this. People get very emotional about these sort of things, and quite frankly, it's okay. But bringing emotion and everything else into these subjects, right, on social media, it's a recipe for disaster. But I quite appreciate people have an opinion. Right, there is sort of in this situation, it's really highlighted the advent of what they call the meme culture and the viral nature of opinion. Right, when people's opinions sort of adhere to each other. Like look at Trump, for instance. Oh my God, people are so easily driven to distraction from what's really the problems in countries. And again, I shouldn't use Trump as an example. I should use Australian politics. Thankfully, I'm quite distant from that as well these days. But it's a ludicrous situation. You the whole idea of democracy is you go and vote for somebody, right, in your local area, right, to be your voice, right, and your voice is only one out of maybe sort of 300,000 people in your constituency. So that voice in Parliament is supposed to stand up for the majority of the people in your thing. But it doesn't work like that anymore, right? Basically, you've got this two-party preferential system in Australia, right, where everybody has to toe the party line, right? Who decides the party line? Backroom guys, not the people elected anymore. The people who are elected no longer have a voice in your own parliament. The whole thing of democracy has completely gone astray. But anyway, don't get me riled up on democracy. Meritocracy, that's what we need to be pushing forward to. You know, governments governing on merit. You know, when you do something and create something and be part of a society to bring about the betterment of society, that should give you merit points, where you should be then given some sort of extra sort of ability to, you know, influence. But yeah, let's not get started on that. There's my zapper. Out of reach. Bloody mosquitoes. Download. Can't see why. I think we said did that. Thailand is suffering hard because Jonas Johnson. G'day, how you doing? Because of shutdown, but you don't care. In other countries, the economy is okay. Not so, and not so many has died compared to the normal flu. Not so many people die. I'm not quite sure what that's in reference to. Countdown is nearly over, mate. Johnny won his conference. Johnny won more conference call. Oh, come on, Jesus Christ! This thing scrolls something out of hand sometimes. Like John said, you're entitled to your own opinion, just not your own facts. It's figuring out what. Yeah, the problem is the fact that the facts are being suppressed, stuck in Florida. That's the thing. The real information, it's not being distributed anymore. So when you can't get legitimate facts, it creates an information vacuum where the false facts become something, right? And they carry weight because there's no counterpoint, right? In any debate situation, you need point and counterpoint, right? Unfortunately, the suppressing of free speech, which is going on in America and around the world, right? And real facts, quantifiable facts. We're being inundated by falsisms simply because of the fact that that's the way social media works, right? And you can no longer trust news sources, right? Because news sources are politically influenced, or they're political influences. They either are left or right wing, and you can't get, that there is very, very little in the way of centralised news distributing news as news. There's laws in Thailand, at least what we sort of see in Thailand tends to be news that is, seems to be sort of fairly stabilised. But again, we've got some pretty sort of tenuous, defamation laws and what they call media laws now to keep a proliferation of the false facts. But again, this is just Thailand. Unfortunately, America is this freedom of speech. I think what is the First Amendment? I don't know what amendment it is. One of the amendments, freedom of speech seems to be a foundation in society. So you can say whatever you want, which seems to just, that's where the problem starts. You can't just say what you want and expect people to believe it's true. Science is science. You can't believe in science. And one of the biggest things I think is science, like injectable nanoparticles so they can track you. Did anybody ever do science? Right? Seriously. It needs at least a 1 centimetre long aerial to pick up any radio frequency from 3 feet away. How is an injectable nanoparticle going to do that? Do people just not know science? Really? But anyway, you're entitled to your opinion about injectable nanoparticles to track you through whatever. Wake up, smell the roses, do some science once in a while. But anyway, Paul in Victoria, we want a death, but we won't want to get near Andrews. We don't want to get near Andrews. Where are we up to? I went to school for lunch. Did right, okay. Daniel, how good went to. So true. Pornhub helped me debate these days quite a lot. Win-win. Where is he good? But he was also a bit unlucky with the people in Melbourne. Yeah, okay. So we're talking about Andrews again. He's a bit of a dick as far as I'm concerned. But again, he's just a front man for the people who make the decisions. I think what we really need to do, we need to find all. We need to see the money trail. Where does the money come from? We need to see open books, right? You've got a political party. Where's that? Who is that person made that contribution? That should be clear and present in every situation. We want to know, because the fact that everything happens because of the money. It's all about the money. It's got nothing to do with anything else. We want to see the money trail, right? If we could actually see the money trail, open accounting and money trail for a political establishments, we would find a stabilisation in the political arena, at least anyway. But anyway, that's likely to never happen. Australia's very corrupt. But we donate poker machine profits hard. I know. Tell me about that. Oh, God. Johnny Siam, got it too hard. He's giving 50k fines, putting people in jail. I know, it's ridiculous. Talking heads spread bullshit generated by their corporate masters. Yeah, I know. It's just ludicrous how it just goes on. Johnny said, I spent more time learning science in class. Now, wow, we could make some good on how we could make some good drugs. I was never really good at chemistry. I'd have loved to have known how to make lysergic acid. Whatever the name is, lysergic dye something or yeah, I would have loved to have learned to make that one. I believe it's very hard to make too. If I have a question about something, I don't go to the news or the propaganda website, look for the most knowledgeable people in a particular field. Well, what I would do, stock in Florida, whenever I'm trying to research something, I used to have a mandate. I'd have to find 3 independent sources verifying the same subject. Right, now I've actually gone to 5. I have to find 5 different, articles that sort of, not so much quoting the previous article, but doing independent research before it become valid. So tangential sort of studies to verify that something is true or not. Unfortunately, it used to be 3 articles. Now it's 5 articles before I start sort of extolling the virtues or something. Like the one that's really got my interest these days is this guy in this is Israeli. He was in the government and he's left government. Now he's starting some sort of. We're all being controlled by an international consortium of a global federation or galactic federation, which human beings are so dumb that we can't be part of. I don't know what he's been smoking. Again, it comes down to science. Okay, we only have a small quantifying knowledge of science. Right now, the fastest thing that we can travel is the speed of light. Right, there is hypothesis of the Kuiper drive, which basically is the only counterpoint to Einstein's theory of relativity, which says, well, bending space, right, could create what they call a situation where we move space as opposed to elements through the void of intergalactic. Anyway, the whole idea of the Kuiper drive is to bend, put a gravitational well in front of you, expand a gravitational well behind you, and it is push a space bubble through space. Star Trek were talking about that in the 60s. They're still doing experiments that are trying to quantify it, but mathematically there's 2 things wrong with this. It requires exotic matter, right, which doesn't exist. it mathematically exists, but it doesn't exist. They've never found it. And secondly, the energy required. So the energy required to move a vehicle of human size and sustainable, equal space inside there to make the travel possible, so that when you got to your destination that you actually have equipment and food and supplies and everything else. Something probably 3 to 4 times the size of the space shuttle, maybe, probably a little bit bigger, but to move something like that through what they call an Akubra drive requires you to convert the mass of Saturn, right, into energy, like E equals mc squared. That's the sort of energy required to push that vehicle through a warp bubble. So the math works, right? Just the physical practicality doesn't, right? So you've got to ask the question, honestly ask the question of why would anybody, even 4.5 light years away, want to visit this planet? If they had some sort of exotic matter and a way to produce the warp bubble or something to move space, right? Why would they do that? They basically, they're so far advanced in technology compared to us, right, where they're probably already harnessing energy to matter conversions or matter to energy conversions. What do you need to go and visit, apart from the sheer pleasure exploring another solar system? If, quite honestly, we, as a human species, yes, we do need to think of being multi-planet because of what we're doing to this one, but outside that, there is an abundance of materials in our solar system that could sustain, 100 trillion people, right, comfortably. Right? Why would you need to go to another place? You've got everything here, You've discovered every chemical, every known element. We've learned to harness it. We can now convert matter to energy. We don't need to go other places, We just need to prolong our sort of species, right? There is obviously the conjecture of the fact that you need to be multi-solar system species for longevity. Well, maybe that does exist, but quite frankly, there's no commercial government's ever going to sort of, fund the, creating massive space arcs to go and populate another solar system. God, we can't even get them to agree on putting a decent telescope up in the sky so we can start to sort of see better into the sky. The best thing we got up there is the Hubble, which was a failed experiment for the first 3 years as well, until they, technically corrected the gravitational, the lensing on the, anyway. Science, love it. Anyway, so what do we got? Everybody's running off. You're all going off. It's 11:30. I'm just scrolling off. Space aliens light years away, picking up old TVs through Three Stooges. Exactly. That'd be a worry, wouldn't it? They would just think we were stupid, really. But don't forget, there's another thing. So every civilization. Okay, so here we have right, for now 100 years, we have been broadcasting our presence to an intergalactic federation, if one exists, right? It takes so long for that signal to dissipate throughout our galaxy, right? And already, right, 50% of our communications is done via wire, right? And more and more of that communication is going into a different media apart from the radio sphere. Within the next 100 years, all communication will be done by laser or fixed communications where it's quantum encrypted, right? Because that's it. If they finally get this quantum computer working, they'll be able to crack, every sort of encryption. So nothing is sacred unless, of course, it's a direct connection from point A to point B, where nothing can be trapped in between. And this is what we got. It's just the way it is. galactic civilizations, they don't use radio waves to broadcast their presence. Or if they did it for probably a 200-year period. Or maybe less, if they didn't have so much infighting on the planet, you know. Anyway, E.T. See, return flight from Melbourne is $5 per... Yeah, return flight from Melbourne per person, $500. What it used to be $90, wasn't it, for a return flight from Melbourne? Now it's $500 because they can't fill the planes. Yeah, what's the purpose of life? Yes, I think what we really need to do is get people to start to understand what is their raison d'être. What is your reason for being? Because quite frankly, 70% of the population seem to have no reason for being. What's my reason for being? Well, entertainment, entertaining people, and playing games. I'm making a very valuable contribution to the overall establishment, aren't I? Anyway, moving on. I've got half an hour to go. So, Thais delay relaunch of domestic flights until January 1 after a new case is found. Right. So this is the aftermath of the situation. Thai Airways International Thai has delayed the relaunch of its Bangkok, Chiang Mai and Bangkok Phuket services to January 1 after the fresh COVID-19 scare. The flights were originally due to restart on December 25th for the festive season. The move is in response to the discovery of new blah blah blah. After the COVID was found in many provinces, we have postponed plans to restore these flights to January 1 next year, and I would have no doubt that they're going to probably wait 2 weeks after that before they'll do anything about it. Thai officials said that adding that pre-boarding packages can postpone or cancel their trips, so they're doing proper refunds and everything else. Earlier this month, Thai said that it was restoring domestic services that had been suspended for more than 8 months since blah blah blah. The airline will operate round-trip flights from Bangkok to Chiang Mai, Bangkok to Phuket 3 times a week on Friday, Saturday and Sunday. On Boeing 777, 200 ER services will run from January 1 to February 28. Basically pick up the tail end of the season. So this is the thing. And here's the thing about the most Thais are staying home during long weekends. They were hoping to try to revive the local tourism thing through a number of different things, but quite frankly, 54% of Thais simply don't want to travel. Their income is effectively 30% less of what they were making at the beginning of the year, and quite frankly, it wasn't much. Apart from the 50-50 thing, which you can probably get half price food, most Thais are basically not really bothering to travel, simply because of the fact that they don't have the money to travel. Chiang Mai is the most popular destination among respondents, 25%, followed by Chiang Rai, 9%, Nan, 6%, Phetchabun, 6.4%, Loi, 5.1%. When asked about government's measures to stimulate the tourism, 67.9% of respondents said they were aware of the Ralpai Chugun Let's Travel Together campaign, while 32.1% said they were not aware. 61.4% of respondents said they had not registered under the new campaign. The main reason being do not know how to use the app. Again, computer literacy is quite sad here in Thailand. They know how to use Facebook, and that's about as far as it goes. And even Facebook. I don't know how many of my close Thai friends have changed accounts because they don't realise you need an email address to actually set up Facebook. But that email address is yours, and they don't remember the password or their email address, and then they get locked out. They change phones and they don't know how to. Oh, it's scary. It really is. But yeah, if you're going to be friends with Thai people, you're going to have to get used to them, creating multiple accounts over the period of time because they lost their phone and they don't remember how to recover their password because they don't realise the importance of an email. because they didn't grow up in an email period. Whereas Western society, we've gradually taken on, from the 80s we had FidoNet, which was the first international electronic mail system, and then we went from there into the ARPANET and a few other places. Then we actually got TCP/IP layer, which then created sort of a messaging system that could be using the SMTP protocol in the early 90s or late 80s. We had the SMTP protocol sort of taking a sort of a major play, and we still run it today. But yeah, we grew up with that sort of stuff. Well, some of you guys mightn't have, but I grew up with that sort of stuff, right? And it still is a foundational part of society. Email, business doesn't run without it. But Thai people, they missed that step. They went from pretty much not having a computer. They'd have to, like even 10 years ago, the only computers you could get access to were the internet cafes. And you didn't go to internet cafes to read private mail. You went to internet cafes to either have FaceTime with somebody or play a game or something. But you didn't use it for business. Businesses did have them, but thing is, that was it. It was it's price prohibitive to have a computer in your home. Not so much these days. Well, it's still price prohibitive in some respects, but it's not so much price prohibitive. More and more people do manage to afford to buy themselves an entry-level laptop these days if they put their pennies together. Like 15,000 baht, that's a month's wages, so they finance it and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, so they missed out on the whole email thing. What is email? Well, Chanya still doesn't know about it. She comes because I've showed her where it is on the app on her phone, and she does know it's there. But every time she has to do anything via email, she comes and lets me do it on the computer here because she doesn't really know what's going on, like doing all the collection of all the data and paraphernalia for the bank loan sort of situation, getting bank statements, crazy stuff. But at least I take care of her email, so she doesn't lose her account because that, I'd be devastated to have her account disappear in the internet and void, because we've got so much history together, 11 years of it. And that's pretty much where the history, the initial history was collected. Apart from my photo albums, the stuff that's happened 11 years ago between all the time going between, that's a documented history of our life together. Anyway, so Thais just don't know how to use email. So again, trying to get them to use apps, understanding how apps work, it's quite strange. Joe Elliott, good morning. G'day, how you doing? Who else haven't I said hello to? Thanks, Richie. You too. Anyway, say March 2021 airport open. It's still looking like Q2 before we'll start to see some sort of easing of travel restrictions here in Thailand, and invariably it's going to still involve some sort of a prison band around you, like some sort of tracking device that can't be removed. That's the way it seems to be shaping up. I think that's already in place somehow. But yes, there's going to be sort of full track systems to know where you've been. Like I said, like if you've got an Android or an iPhone, you're already being tracked. Why people are so worried about that, I don't know. It just means the fact that Google and Apple just need to give that data, or give governments that access to that data, which again is an infringement of your rights as an American. So Americans won't be allowed to come here unless, of course, they give the permission. But we're already being tracked. So all we need to do is just have, give governments access to know about your whereabouts. And I think some sort of vaccination certificate, and of course the country being low risk. So Australia would be potentially open, right, to a vaccination certificate that you've had the COVID-19 vaccination, you've done probably a medical check, before flying, and you give them permission to track your whereabouts. I think that's where it'll go. That'll be my 2 cents worth about what we're going to face in the Q2 next year. Is being open to Thailand, because they are starting open discussions about like the 30 day and the 45-day travel period. They're talking about the discussions have started, and now how they're going to leverage that sort of situation. Walsh John, good morning from UK. Good morning, how you doing? You must be up late, or is that early for you? I don't know. I asked the doctor to put me on the list for a jab as soon as he gets it. As soon as he gets it. Okay. For the jab? Well, you're that desperate to get back here, are you? I want to say, I was to say I'd be erring on the side of caution, give it, first jabbies, how are they 12 months later? The biggest problem with the jab is what I sort of said a couple of weeks ago. Supposedly there is a side effect that they're already sort of seeing, which is it gives you flu-like symptoms, which could potentially make you consider getting the second jab, which is required, because the second jab is actually worse than the first jab. And again, if you get a runny nose and a sniffle and sore limbs, it's like I remember when having I really don't remember I know it was yellow fever, I think typhoid, smallpox. I know when I had the typhoid injection, that's the one that really hurt, because that would really smart and it'd make you feel quite bad for 3 or 4 days. When we had that, I remember what it was like getting those sort of injections. Still do. Keeping the band-aid on, the pinprick on your skin, for the smallpox. It wasn't actually an injection. They put some sort of pus on your skin, and they pricked your skin, and they put a band-aid over it, and you weren't supposed to wash for 3 days or something. That gave you cowpox instead of smallpox, which was the antidote, or the thing that created the viral reaction. You're heading out, are you, Andy? Good on you. Hope to see you next week. Old news, after 51 years, Zodiac Killer's cipher has been sold by amateur code breakers. Have they? Really? Okay, interesting. You got an article for that one? Link me the article so I can read up on that one. I'm not pro-jab. When they come to my door and says your turn, I'm not going to actively pursue it, but hopefully they won't come to my door for at least a year, so I'll have some empirical data to work up. 4:45 up for work. Oh geez, Saturday morning at 4:45. Wow. Okay. Go to site. After 15 minutes, Zodiac Killer's cipher has been solved. I know they did a movie on this. Didn't they do a movie based on this, the Zodiac Killer? Pretty sure I saw the movie. IMDb. Is it that one there? The Zodiac, elusive serial killer known as the Zodiac, terrorized San Francisco Bay in the late 60s. I think they did a movie based on the Zodiac. I remember seeing the movie, which is quite an interesting movie. What did IMDb give it? 5.4. I think it was probably worth... should have got better than that, but anyway. Good, anyway, I'll look at that article later. I don't see any need for having a jab to renew or to get a visa extension. You're already in the country. You're not at risk. There was no talk about it last September. I very, very much doubt it'll be required for anybody that's in this country. It'll be required for anybody that's bouncing but anybody that's in this country on the original, on the original visa, on the original sort of TM7 or TM6, I don't see that being a requirement for them. If you want to go to the country, more than likely you'll have to have the jab to go out of the country. So there you go. It won't be just Thailand sort of enforcing these rules. I think this is going to be an international effort, bringing us back to the mid-70s, where you'll have to have vaccination certificates. This will be one certificate, then it'll probably be there'll be a HIV vaccination. There'll probably be some sort of malaria if you're doing sort of malaria infected. You have to have the malaria vaccination. There's going to be a concerted effort. I believe there'll be a concerted effort to look at health as a prerequisite for flying, because as I said, travel has just become unmanageable. Was it Robert Downey Jr., was it? Was that one, or was it the other one? There was two of them. There was two Zodiac. Okay, that's the 2007 version, was it? Okay. So it's been two. There's been two. Which one did I see? I think I saw that one. Well, that was probably the one I saw there, the Zodiac 2007. Because it was a really good movie. Maybe there was the second one was a better make of it. 4 wins and 72 nominations. Okay, that looks like a made-for-TV version. Okay, so they remade it. Yeah, that was the better one. The Zodiac. Yeah, pretty sure that was the one. I'm pretty sure that was the thing that I saw. Because that other one there doesn't look right. Yeah, pretty sure it's this one. Been a while since I've seen it, so that was 2007, I believe, at least 10 years ago. What was the first? What vaccinations have you taken, like in Florida, to travel, and when and how long ago? It'd be an interesting situation. The older one, 71. Is there a 71? I don't see a 71 version. Anyway, I got one more article I'm going to put up, which I just lighten the thing. We got our closing out sort of time here, so 10 minutes to go. The lighter side of news is this one here. I thought, why not? Let's just do the lighter side of news. Just to find something to make people's Zodiac Killer 1971. I have to see if there is an older one. I don't remember seeing that one. It's probably a very old movie of it. Yeah. Anyway, so the nation, Miss Thailand beauties dazzle in swimsuits. This is a better closing article. I just thought I'd find something pretty to run. Whereas of course I got to go. I've got to get something on Chanya's Facebook. Hold on, just to go. She did something when she was down in Hall Hin this week, so I'll give you a bit of a special one. Where is it? Where's my Facebook page? Give me Facebook. Right, Chanya Kamjin. Right, blah blah blah. Where's the thing? Where did she put it? Interesting. It's not on her Facebook feed. What did she do? She's taken it down. I know it's on TikTok. Where did you put it, darling? I saw it this morning. Okay. I liked it, so let me see if I can find it. Just give me a minute. I was going to get this out ready before. Activity log. It wasn't on her Facebook. It was her. She didn't put it on. She put it on her Facebook, but she put it on. Yeah. Anyway, she did a little thing on what's that part of Facebook where you post shit, like you post little snippets. I don't think you can actually go back to that, can you? Your stories, yeah, your Facebook stories. She put something on a Facebook story this morning of a TikTok thing she did. Anyway, I can't find it. I think that's his one-time look and it disappears into the void. But anyway, good morning, Cody. Straight again, okay, Cody, how you doing? Pneumonia jab hurt for over a week last year. Pneumonia, okay. Hepatitis A, meningitis, rabies, yellow fever. When did you have those ones done? Stock in Florida? That'd be an interesting one. I don't know where you would have to take yellow fever these days. Is it still a virulent has a virulent aspect? I guess I don't travel that many countries these days. Anyway, a lighter side of, so Miss Thailand Beauty Dazzles swimsuits. I was going to counterpoint this one here with her thing that she posted, but I can't find it on Facebook, so getting Chanya in a bikini. If you go on her TikTok, you'll probably see it. I don't have her TikTok, and I will not put the app on my phone. Miss Thailand contestants flaunt their beauty in their swimsuits used in the Namin Chiang Hotel, my hotel in Thursday. 30 contestants were a picture of Grace in their Prachara brand swimsuits. There we go, some nice pretty girls. Miss Thailand pageant was first called Miss Siam and held for the first time on December the 10th, 1934. The present name of the competition was used from 1939 after Siam's name was changed to Thailand. Okay, so it's been Miss Thailand ever since. Number 5's looking pretty cute there. Some nice pretty girls. Not much of an article, but I can definitely sort of open that in a new tab and get a nice big picture look at Miss Thailand 2020. Don't think I can make it any bigger. That's about as big as it'll go, is it? That's full resolution, unfortunately. Pretty girls to round out the end of the season, or end of the show. Thailand, Thailand. Had another identified vlogger. Had another vlogger. Okay, yeah, I caught the first one. Had me in some sort of cute little. I said I'd do me. I don't know how he managed to. The fun he has. It's all in good fun. Some people might take offence to it, but. Anyway, just some nice, pretty Thai girls to end up the show with. Chanya's always following this stuff. I go downstairs when she's watching TV, and like at least one time out of 4, there's some sort of pageant thing she's watching. She is totally fascinated by these pageants. I keep on sort of saying to her, why don't she go and enter in one? I reckon she got a chance of winning. And she says, no, I don't think I have. I'm too old. So I've never had reactions from those when I was, neither did I. Typical low, ultra low temperature jabs will hurt like Dickens, but they might have better methods to delivery these days. I'm really not sure about that. Pneumonia jabbers like Mike Tyson socked me in the shoulder. Really? Yeah. If they're going to give it to millions of old people, they are pretty sure of its safety. Nobody wants to be known for killing a grandma. Yeah. Again, that's the other thing is, once the first wave of the injections goes through and we can see the results in the elderly population, I think we'll know about the ultimate safety of the thing. And again, what are you worried about? They're just giving you something that counteracts a virus that has a 98% success rate, and you need to have a test to know you've got it. But from what I heard, there have been reactions to it. Nobody's died from it. There's been one death attributed to it, which that was in the in the what they call the double-blind study, where somebody actually died of COVID-19, but they actually didn't receive it. They got the sugar injection or whatever it was, or they got the saline injection, and caught COVID-19. So the death was attributed to the whole sort of second round, but that's about as far as it went. As promised, Wazza, after Xmas, Red Bull shake on me. Love your efforts and work. Thanks very much for joining in. How many likes did we get today, guys? Where's the last week tonight? Let me do a final roundup. Okay, 25. Okay, we've got 30 people watching. We've got 25 here. It's not too bad. We're doing all right. There's one more from me. If you haven't done already, hit that like. What do we got? So we peaked out at 40 today. Again, nothing juicy to talk about, so that's really... and Bangkok 46, there you go. Another $2 from him. But we're at a pretty good constant viewing of, the 30 pluses. Just started to wind down in the last 20 minutes when we sort of said we're going to wind down. People obviously have to go on and do things Saturday afternoon, which is the usual case. And I'm starting to get a bit on the hungry side. I need to go and think about some food. It's been another interesting stream. Thanks for joining us. Let me just get back into the main screen here. Let's get rid of that. I know there's your nice little beach scene in the background there. Nice looking pool. Feel like a swim now. Have a good weekend. Same to you guys. Stick around. Still don't know what. I still want to get something to talk about this. I've got a few articles prepared, but still don't know how to talk about deep fake. It's one of those interesting subjects I'd like to talk about. I've just got to find a few more bits and pieces. Let's talk about deep fake. Really wake you up, that thing. But anyway, we've had a few bits and pieces of snippets of all sorts of wonderful bits and pieces. So I'm going to love you and leave you. To be honest, more entertaining than the Hollywood movie. You reckon? Well, if we can actually get some more participation, we could have a bit more of a conversation going, rather than hearing me and make myself hoarse for 2 hours. Stay safe, Richie. Yes. Is it true these new types of vaccines alter your own cells to produce spike proteins so your immune system attacks and kills them? It alters your DNA. Well, it is I believe it's an RNA virus that creates a sort of a response system. I really haven't done enough. I am not an authority on it. I let the people that deal with that subject. You want to know about computers, right? Computers is my thing. I can do computers. I'm very knowledgeable computers. I'm also pretty good on YouTube these days. If I don't just take it seriously, I might have a channel that would grow. Transgender, computers, and YouTube. And gaming. They're my 4 subjects. That's what I can be counted on as being a knowledgeable source. Okay, so ask me questions about those 4 things, and I'll be good. Where's Mr. Monash? Mr. Monash felt that his public persona was a bit too public these days. He wanted to take a back seat for a while. He felt, people have different issues about the way the public persona thing goes, and I appreciate the fact that he just felt uncomfortable. Don't hold anything against him. He probably does watch, but he just doesn't comment. I know he's had some problems with his YouTube accounts as well. That might be another thing as well. No DNA changes. That's what retroviruses like HIV do. I keep on thinking of the. There was a series called the 4400. Came out in the mid 2000s, where these 4400 people came back mysteriously from supposedly outer space or something, or the future or whatever it was. It's actually quite a good series. But in the end of it, they'd actually created this vaccine, right? You'd either get a power, some sort of superhuman ability, superhuman ability if you took the virus, or you would die, and it was a 50-50 chance. So, you didn't know what you were going to get, right? But that was the close out of the series. 50-50 chance. 50% of people would die if they took the injection. But you either died or you got a superpower, like you could levitate, you could kill plants, you could if I've seen the series 45, it was actually quite entertaining. I quite liked it. It was about the same time as Heroes came out. That was another one of those sort of superhero freak show things. All about the DNA, and of course you've got X-Men. one of the most popular movies in that. DNA altering sequences. So they were just a mutant, DNA mutant. So you take the jab. Do we get any mutant powers? That's what I want to know. Where's my mutant power? I take the jab. I want my mutant power. Come on. Anyway, guys, peace out. Love you guys. If you're watching, hope you're well, Stephen Matas. Even if you're not, I wish you well. Okay, peace out, guys. Stay tuned for the next live stream, and we'll catch you around. Where's my closing screen? No, that's it. Ending screen. Where is it? I got too many things on here. Closing screen, ending screen. Starting soon. Be right back. Ending soon. Closing screen. Is it closing screen? It is. Think about my